What is it that we benefit from when we decide to be like the world around us? Welcome to this, your daily 180 Bible study. We certainly do appreciate you being with us for this study and participating in this study. And also thank you for sharing this with your friends. This week we're looking at 1 Samuel chapter 8. The people have asked for a king. This displeased Samuel. And God says, you need to listen to everything that they say, Samuel. Because the reality is they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me. They rejected God as reigning over them. Now, an amazing thing happens. God says, if they want a king, I'll give them a king. And as you see in some of the following verses, God is not just acquiescing. He's not just giving in to them. It's punitive. If you want to live a worldly, ungodly life, God's not going to force you to live godly, but you will pay the price for worldliness. And so he says, you tell him what it will be like. This king will take, he will take, he will take, he will take, he will take, and ultimately you will be his servants. But I want you to look at verse number 18, and I want us to focus on that for just a moment, because here is the consequence of sin. Verse 18, and you will cry out in that day because of your king, of whom you have chosen for yourselves, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. Do you understand what he's saying? Here are the consequences of sin. When you decide to go down that one-way road called sin, it leads to death. Oftentimes I tell young people, if you go down a dead-end street, if you go down a one-way dead-end street, sometimes you find it almost impossible to turn around. So just don't go down that road. The reality is that sin separates man from God. We're separated from all the blessings, all the benefits that come from being in a relationship with God. Isaiah 59, 1 and 2 says that's what sin does. It separates man from God. Do we realize how ugly worldliness really is? They wanted to be like all the nations around them. It was so attractive, so beautiful, but in reality, it was so costly, so ugly, so damning. Friends, we need to think carefully before we choose to be like the world around us.